Somebody give a dispersal order today?
Uptown Minneapolis.
No.
You hear an activist saying that there was no dispersal order. The police are clearing the street on Lake Street here.
To protest?
This is the memorial for Deona Marie right here.
Serving Lake Street. You are not.
This is a business owner, I believe. Sort of screaming at the police. So the police started making their moves to eastbound down Lake Street.
Why can't I walk on this sidewalk?
About half hour, 45 minutes ago.
Why can't I walk on this sidewalk?
Listen to him.
If you want to check that out, go to Move for Justice News. Louis Tran was at the corner when it was happening. Here's a photojournalist getting let through the police line. There's people being arrested inside the police line. You can sort of see them back here.
I do not respond to you. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I want your superior.
I wish I was white. Yeah. No, go ahead. I need to hear from you. Matter of fact, take this shit because they sure will listen to me.
I want you to use that and I will yell.
I want them to hear you.
What are you not here?
We're asking you. We're asking you. Yo, give them the megaphone.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I will take it if you want.
It's loud. They gonna hear you. Don't walk away with your bitch ass. Walk away.
I am a paying taxpayer of Minneapolis. I have lived in this city since 1973.
Talk your shit,
I
white
want
man.
to see your superior. Why are you here?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Listen to him.
This is a street. I am a person. I walk the street. You are blocking it. Why are you here?
We pay your fucking wage, bro.
I want to see your superior. Where is the person that
You sold out.
to be here?
You sold
Why
out.
are you here?
He just got an internship and he moved here.
I am looking at every
Starts to
person
be
who's
on
willing
point.
to
Some
look
they
at me.
fucked up with this.
Why are you here?
It was
Move yourself from
You
the
see
street.
here is a barricade, bus stop, acting as a barricade on the street. So to get you caught up to speed, Winston Smith was killed by deputized sheriffs from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department, much like these gentlemen in the brown. Smith was killed on top of this parking ramp. Since June 3rd, when he was killed, there's been a lot of protests here continuously every night and daily. It's been a recent point of contention. And 2 days ago, what you see here is the vigil spot with flowers. 2 days ago, a protester, Deona Marie, was killed here by a car that rammed into her very, very high speed, ran into her car, which rammed into her as she was sitting on the sidewalk. So this is this was Deona Marie resting place here that you're looking at. Winston Smith's resting place up here. 2 deaths here in 100 yards of each other in 10 days of each other. The people were in the streets protesting the death of Winston Smith, and that's when Deona Marie, died. So the police came in. They had a press conference earlier today, decided to come in to stop the protesting here. People are planting gardens.
They keep shutting our lives off. Like I'll go live 3 minutes and shut it down. Nico out here. What up, bro?
Yeah, what up? Lavish, let me give you a hug.
Hey, love, bro. Thank you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I took a day off. I feel a little more lively, but thank you, bro.
Here's Lavish. He witnessed a lot of what happened here with Deona Marie and went live right afterwards. You want to talk at all? All right, we'll talk in a little bit.
Look how they have a bulldozer, y'all.
You're not even protecting property anymore. Hey, we paid for that.
Excuse me, people on those expensive ass youth cops.
Hey, hold on. I like that bus stop. I live here. I like where that bus stop is at. Can you just leave it there? Can you just leave it there? That's my bus stop. I liked it where it was at. Please, leave it.
Do you know how far the next 21 bus stop is? Are y'all gonna put it back? No. Y'all are stupid as fuck, bro.
My neighborhood. I like the bus stop right where it's at.
Yeah, I did.
Not the best, you know.
Yeah. Sending you love, all the stuff you've been going through this last few days. Sending you love, all the stuff you've been going through. Yeah.
I don't want to drop my phone
Yeah, I know, right? Me neither.
Y'all in them expensive ass apartments. As you can see, bodies are needed down here instead of watching. Like, y'all like me? Like, if y'all think this is cool, this is funny, this is not no fucking joke.
Where the fuck were they at? Where the fuck are...
You know what? Aside from this stupid ass crew, where the fuck were y'all at?
For the last 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Y'all telling me you haven't seen anything? Y'all out here, but you see this, right? Y'all see this, right?
Y'all was silent when we was out here begging for justice. I don't know. Shorty got a black boyfriend, think everything's funny. They're down here trying to kill us, brother.
Brother!
You're not gonna laugh when you're watching this tree with a bullet in your fucking back. Come on, man. Wrong team. You wrong team. This nigga wrong team. That nigga wrong team. And you're recording me. Sad as fuck. Sorry ass. Y'all pay for them expensive ass apartments, but don't care about the crime that's happening across the street. How would you feel if that was your girlfriend in the car with Winston Smith? You wouldn't be laughing, dummy. You would not be laughing. Do you realize how trigger happy these people are? You're out there recording me? I gotta come out there with your stupid ass.
Matter of fact, come down here! Laugh in my face, man! Laugh in my face!
What do y'all got against public transportation, you
Laugh
pig?
in my face!
For no reason. People live here. That's their bus stop.
Hey, Severance, go fuck yourself! Matt Severance! Hey, Matt!
Police are making
Matt
some plans
Severance!
with some folks, pointing out people.
Let's talk about it, Matt.
Good job.
To everyone watching from your fucking pool, you should be down here. If you give a fuck about black lives, you should be on the fucking ground.
This place looked a lot better before you guys showed up. A lot better. Where the firemen was. At least we took it down without taking the line.
Crowd out here is growing. Maybe up to 100 or so, at least 50. So again, to get you up to speed, here is a garden growing. People are planting a garden. And this was protest that started June 3rd for Winston Smith. You see his name right here. He was killed by a federalized task force called the North Star Fugitive Task Force. The police are said to have tried to apprehend him, and they say he produced a gun and fired at them, or produced a gun at least. They now say that they've found the gun in a driver's compartment, and that and also the witness who he was with at Stilla's Fish Cafe right before he was murdered in broad daylight on the top of this parking ramp by the federalized deputies. She has said that in a statement that he is not, oh, the police just fired on people. He has said that the police, or she, the witness, said that he never had a gun. So that was the sheriff. It looks like that fired on people. He's reloading. This is Lieutenant Severance in charge of the scene. So there's this gentleman back here that was reloading, so I'm guessing it was him that shot. Again, we saw the police just making moves with each other a minute ago, having conversations as to what they were going to do, who they were going to target. They're coming out here with live fire weapons a lot now. That is a assault rifle with a compressor, excuse me, at the bottom of it. So this was the green marker round they just shot. Did you get hit? This is a very typical one that they normally use. Does it have any markings on the bottom? Can we see? Nothing. Okay. Yep. Thank you. That is most likely a 40 millimeter marker round, and it is made by Defense Technologies. And the police are making moves, trying to rushing people and trying to arrest people. They've got one person for sure. I don't know if they got anybody else. They're here in a line. So there's the person they've got arrested. They're yelling at the business owner now.
Step off to the side. You're the public nuisance. Are you kidding me? You put hands on me and chased me down in a public space. Why? Why? You not!
Another person. Oh, there goes pepper spray. He just pepper sprayed these people. They got all over me as they made another arrest over here. So this woman is really mad. She just got pepper sprayed. I believe her and her husband are business owners, possibly of Stella's. Unsure. So there's at least 3 arrests here. There's 1, 2.
Hey guys.
They're pulling the police back a little bit. At least 2 arrests, excuse me. I think there might have been 1 as well brought over there already. I cannot tell. I believe so. Yep. So there's 3 arrests here. Again, that was just the crowd was just sort of standing there heckling the officers as the bulldozer was smashing through a bus stop that was created for a barricade. Here goes Louis Tran.
I was here.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I was telling people you started recording when they took the barricades. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. So basically, I was here pretty early, because I knew they were going to be moving in soon, and so I got here, and then so keep in mind that I watched Mayor Fry's press conference earlier, and he specifically said that there will be more law enforcement tonight, and that there will be a dispersal order given, and people will be given the opportunity to leave, and those that don't leave will be arrested. Well, when I was here, they basically came in and pretty much they basically came in and kind of cornered people, basically trapped people in between Girard and Hennepin on Lake Street. Anybody that was walking through there pretty much got arrested because they came in. There was no dispersal order given, and they just said, everybody on their knees. And so even if you were just a pedestrian walking through, you have to get on your knees. And basically then they came in and arrested everybody that was in between Girard and Hennepin on Lake Street. Again, no dispersal order given or anything like that, just like Mayor Fry said on his, press conference.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, Nico.
I know you're in the middle of doing. I'll let you get back to doing what you're doing. Right. Yeah, check out Louis at Move for Justice News and Louis Tran Facebook. Thanks for the update. If you want to see exactly what Louis was talking about, you can go and check the stream from Louis and Move for Justice News. As you heard, there was a press.
This is an unsecured area. You guys got to go down there for right now, okay? It's an unsecured area. We're going to secure this. You guys need to stand down there.
Are you the...
I'm the boss, yeah. Matt Favors, right?
Kid, was there any dispersal orders earlier?
There wasn't.
Yeah, no.
No.
You can clearly hear on Louis Tran's feed that there was no dispersal order given. It's very clear that there wasn't a dispersal order given when the police came into the street to clear the area. But yeah, check that out on Louis Tran. There was on Move for Justice News Facebook. As I was saying, there was a press conference earlier today. That press conference had, I believe, Lisa Bender, as well as the mayor. Lisa Bender made it clear that the mayor controls these police. Here's a Minneapolis gang unit. Bender made it clear, the council member Bender made it clear that the police answer to the mayor. And the mayor then made it clear to the audience watching the press conference that he was going to make sure that the protesters out here were able to hear a dispersal order and have time to leave before they came in and made arrests. That was not the case. From everything that we've been able to see and from multiple witness statements as well as press, and Louis Tran just told us as well. So check it out on Move for Justice News for the early sort of raid on this space. You saw just 3 arrests right there. You see some really high upper mobility apartment buildings and condos up here. This is the area we're in Uptown. You know, there's literally swimming pools on the roofs of these high-end condo and townhouses. They're higher end. Stella's Fish Cafe is where Winston Smith was taking his date out to eat before he was murdered on the top of this parking ramp by federally deputized Hennepin County and a Ramsey County sheriff. So as we keep continuing to see, you see in the distance the glimmering light coming off of the vigil spot for Deona Marie. Deona Marie was a mainstay up here at Winston Smith protests since June 3rd, and they were going to turn 32 today. So it was their 32nd birthday today, had they not been killed by Nick Krause 2 days ago on Sunday night when Nick Krause smashed his car into Deona Marie's car, which was acting as a protector to the protesters, and it hit her while she was sitting on the sidewalk and killed her. The community, obviously traumatized and grief-stricken, has come out and continued to try to mourn her, as well as mourn Winston Smith's death by the state. And this is what they're continually being met with. This type of militarized police force that is now responding on the normal basis here in Minneapolis. They continue to talk about de-escalation in their press conferences, but they're responding to these protests with higher and higher grade weaponry as well as military equipment. And so it's sort of indicative of the situation that we're in here in Minneapolis 1 year after George Floyd was killed by Minneapolis police officers, where still no accountability or change of the process is happening besides one guilty verdict for one officer involved in the murder of George Floyd. There's a large police force here that has come to the scene. Again, we're here on Lake and Girard, uptown Minneapolis. This is the scene where people have protested for the last 2 weeks, seeking justice for Winston Smith and accountability and the releasing of the tapes, transparency. There was no body cameras found or on the officers. Federalized deputies are not allowed or weren't wearing them as U.S. Marshal Service task force. They were just allowed to instill that program to start wearing them last October. In February, they started to create the process a little bit further. But Minnesota, no body cameras are worn by task force officers in Minnesota at this point in time. So that is leading to contention with the community because they want to see the transparency in the tapes. The police say that, and the city say that there is no video from also on the parking ramp. So there's a few hundred people sprinkled throughout this area. The police are continuing to do police actions. They're trying to cover this whole lot now, which is a vacant lot, with fencing. Other people are showing up to this protest. If you want to know more about Deona Marie and Winston Smith, go to our website, unicornriot.ninja. We have an article on both of them. This protest is in relation to both of them as well. Hey, what's up? You do it? Yeah. That's good. You're still out here doing your thing. Don't never stop. I love it. So the police are kicking around now this, sorry about that, camera work a minute ago. The police are kicking around this garden. That was planted in memory of Winston Smith and Deona Marie. Police are bringing more fencing. 1 second, you all. I need to fix something in a minute. People are making fun of them because they can't lift it. One second. Sorry about that. Again, thank you all for joining. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Thank you, Dan, for running the back end. We got people that are sort of sprinkled throughout this parking ramp. On the top of the parking ramp, Winston Smith was killed by police in the middle of the day on June 3rd. They said that he was wanted for being a felon in possession of a weapon. Immediately, the scanners reports said that he was a murder suspect. The Star Tribune and other outlets reported as well that he was a murder suspect, citing sources. Those sources were this police scanner, and it was false. That's one part of the story. Another part of the story is Deona Marie, who was protesting Winston Smith, was killed 2 days ago by Nick Kraus, a driver most likely drunken and possibly on some other substance, who rammed his car into a protecting car that Deona had put up and killed Deona. Her place of rest is right beyond the police, right up there on the ground. You see a little vigil spot. That was for Deona Marie. Winston Smith, again, was killed above on the top of this parking ramp. And so people have held this space for about 10 days now continuously, on and off. A lot of police interactions up here, and a very much more aggro police response than what has been in previous protests. The police are now coming out with, instead of just those shooters you see with 40mm marker rounds, they're coming out with suppressed rifles, high-powered rifles with suppression on a compression suppression on them. Excuse me. So what else is on this plate? We have Lieutenant Severance that is up here patrolling this scene, controlling this scene. These right here are CART unit, chemical agent response teams, and they are the teams with the chemical agents, and they were just pepper spraying and shooting people a very short time ago. We also saw a Hennepin County sheriff that was also taking part in interacting with the protesters by shooting them with a 40mm marker round. We'll bring you over to this part of the scene a little bit closer to where these officers are. You see this? Some graffiti. Here's officers.
Like what? There was nothing going on. There are people getting treated. Like,
There's an officer waving. They all look pretty bored. You see the say her name in the
like we were
background.
mourning a man who was killed by cops, by federal cops, right? Do you all know that? Like there was a man killed up here, and then there was another woman killed by a car. Did you know that? Any of you? Do you know that? Do you know that he was killed up here, Winston Smith? By the cops? By the government? By somebody related with the government? Did you know that? She likes looking at me. I like to look at you too. Did you know that he was killed here? Or did you just like, you didn't know that before now? Before your boss told you to come out here? It doesn't work.
Do you care? Or are you just upset that you can't go to LA Fitness right now?
Oh! There was a reaction! There was an emotional reaction! She is in fact a person! I am also a person, although a very hyper sort of a person. Oh, that was a good one. That was a laugh. She has emotion. I'm really happy for you, ma'am. It's hard to have emotion. It's really hard to have emotion, huh? Oh, this guy talks. Did you know that Winston Smith was killed here? Why don't these people want, like, you guys had some people who were watching the cars over there. They really wanted to talk to me. They were fine talking. Like,
So this is a scene up here. You have people are congregating on different spots. I'm going to try to move around a little bit. So again, thank you all for joining. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. You can check out more of our covers on Unicorn Riot Ninja. Catch up on the Winston Smith and the Deona Marie case. This is the parking ramp that the police used to kill Winston Smith. He had been at Stella's Fish Cafe eating lunch with his date. Came, took the elevator, I believe, up to the 3rd floor and was subsequently murdered, killed by police. I'll bring you upstairs to the site. Bear with me a little bit. That's the 3rd floor. I'm at like 5th or 6th floor or something. We'll give you the view, and then we'll take you over to his spot. So, if you've seen pictures, this is where Winston's car was parked. When the police sort of surrounded him, federalized deputies surrounded him from up here and killed him in his car while he was with his date. His sister, looks like his child, and another sibling wrote on here messages for Winston. So again, this is the spot where Winston Smith was murdered by federalized deputies, one from Ramsey County, one from Hennepin County. We do not know their names. They were supposedly working in an undercover capacity, so the BCA is not releasing their names. They were part of the federalized task force called North Star Task Force that was hunting after somebody else in this area, from my understanding, and they ended up catching wind that Winston Smith was in this area, coming over and essentially murdering him at the top of this parking ramp while he was with his date in the car. She's come out and said that she did not see him with a weapon. The police say that they found a weapon. The initial reports were that he was a murder suspect. That was false. He was, I think, 30 something. Early 30s, late 20s. He was a comedian, father of, I believe, 3. Some of his Instagram posts and Facebook posts are just incredibly funny. Some of them also show the dire angst that some people feel when they're facing time, incarceration, and dealing with police forces and the system in general. He was pretty open about possibly having to deal with a 4-year stint in prison for what he said was a gun that wasn't his. He was just in the area of the person with the gun, and therefore he got charged. So yeah, that's Winston Smith here. This is his final resting place. So this has been a place of contention because sort of it is in this upper mobility neighborhood that's mostly catering to the business needs and to like the needs and voting aspirations of the Jacob Fry voters, a lot of people say, and so therefore they want this area cleared of protests and cleared of wrongdoers and people seeking justice because they want this for the business interests. So this was the Calhoun Square. I don't think it's been renamed yet. Calhoun was a genocideer here locally in Minnesota, so it was also part of the change their name campaign, essentially. These officers are still down here, along with the Lake Calhoun, Pidimakaska, if I'm pronouncing it right. There is a drone up in the sky. I do not know if that's a police drone or a people drone. I believe it's media. Gonna bring you a different view. So again, this was the vigil site right here for Deona Marie, who was killed Sunday night while protesters had gathered. She was killed by a driver who rammed into the protest. Some in the community are calling it a hate crime, saying it was premeditated. Some are saying that he was also a domestic abuser and liked pro-gun posts on Facebook and some other things. But other people are saying, you know, it was a drunk driver and he didn't know what he was doing. The police have said that his pupils were baby small and didn't respond to a flashlight, and that he was saying that he was Jesus Christ and Tim Burton and wanted to go to the Super Bowl or something when they were interviewing him. Nick Krause is his name, though, and what he did was he did kill Deona Marie and traumatically alter the lives of everybody who was here who witnessed that, as well as injure a few other people. One of the other persons for sure, a medic who was also helping her. There's a helicopter that's above us. It's a helicopter. It's a police helicopter, I believe. So this is the scene from the top of the parking ramp in which Winston Smith was killed at. The police have blocked off all of the street from Hennepin to Fremont. So Hennepin is over here by where those arches are coming up into the sky that are green. That's Hennepin. From Hennepin to Lake Street is the street you're looking at that's going straight sideways. That's Girard in front of us, where Stella's and Deona Marie resting places. And then that's Fremont Ave. And these are two very high scale condominium living apparatuses. One of them with a pool. You can sort of see that inlet right there. That is a pool you can see in the summertime where people swim in the middle of the daytime in the middle of uptown Minneapolis. So this is the area we are dealing with here. Police are bringing their shooters a little closer to this line over here. Oh, they're just moving the tape up. Let me come over here and get another view real quick before we go downstairs. Again, thank you all for joining. If you want to know more information about Winston Smith or Deona Marie, check out our website, unicornriot.ninja. Just tragedies basically in this 1 block radius in a matter of 10 days. There's the Bearcat. So the SWAT squad, other officers from the CART, Chemical Agent Response Team, have been out here pretty thick, responding to these protests with live fire rounds. Very brutal, very aggressive at times. They cracked a woman's skull open by pushing her back while she was trying to deliver pizzas. Many arrests have been had. Just a lot of things have happened since Winston Smith's death or killing. A lot of people are calling it assassination. There's a website that's been popped up. It's winstonsmithwasassassinated.com with some more information just from the community's point of view as to what happened with Winston Smith. 1 second here. Oh, so earlier when they came in, they were slashing people's tires. So anybody that was, as you heard from Louis, anybody that was stuck in the radius of this area when they kettled, they were arrested. Anybody whose car was also in it was towed or has been towed. And from my understanding is they slashed all of the tires on all of the cars before towing them. And I cannot tell right now if those tires were slashed or if just one was slashed or any was slashed. But that is what I've heard from multiple people. I believe there's some video of that online. The police made their move a little bit over an hour ago to clear this area. One second. So again, here's a small presence of people, maybe 50 or so in this vicinity, from the front to the bottom of the screen that you can see. Up there is a lot of police officers, and they've directed their barricade towards those 50 or so people that are in this vicinity. 1 second. There we go. And here we go. They're shining at us. It's well known the officer is doing this to media as well as our camera. It's well known they also watch our feeds. So I'm not surprised this happened. Although it's great timing. Gentleman inside the barricade. Great timing. Right when we were talking about y'all. So, again, these are the people seeking justice for Winston Smith, as well as remembering Deona Marie on the birthday, on what would have been her 32nd birthday today, before she was killed. Friday would be 1 year sober for her. Again, she was killed by a drunk driver. My arm is still burning from all the pepper spray that they sprayed on it when they were spraying the two business owners a little bit earlier. Again, this is uptown Minneapolis. Those are new buildings. All the sort of high-rises you see, that Moxie is really new. That other joint is new. This place is new. The Target and that Revel place is new. You know, these places are new, and it's very vital to the uptown Minneapolis experience to have these businesses not be hurt by protests. And so there goes for you all to see that they love transparency. So some of these cart team, they have a deal going on with themselves, whereas if you say the last name of Deona Dubois, who's a community engagement officer, you will be hazed, you'll be shamed. It's called the shame games. Essentially what they do is they bring you out of whatever vehicle you're in or wherever you are, bring you to an area, and they make you turn your back to them, and then they shame you 3 times for each time saying his name. And Deona Dubois is, again, a community engagement officer who's actually seeking to change the culture of Minneapolis Police Department from within, and unsure if the police are hazing their other coworkers for saying his name because they do not like him, they don't agree with him, they just want to make fun of him, or if it's because he's trying to change the culture. But we'll leave that up to you all to decide. Shame Games is present on our website, unicornriot.ninja. There's a small video and a larger video that sort of details some of these body camera videos that we got given to us by an anonymous source. Thank you, anonymous source. And there is one of the cars getting towed away. It looks like the back right light tire. I don't know, can you tell? Is the back right tire punctured? God, this camera killing it. I mean, this that light is killing it, huh? So, unsure if that car had tires punctured. But that is a new reality here for anybody having their vehicle around this area. They are getting targeted by knives that the police have. And the SWAT officer moved his light now. So again, this few blocks here has been a very contentious few blocks for the last 10 days. Winston Smith was killed about 100 feet from where we are standing here at this area on this parking ramp. After he was killed, people gathered immediately on that area that you're looking at, and basically started to barricade the street, basically right then. It's been cleared multiple times. These are sort of new barricades that have happened since Deona Marie was killed by a car that drove right into her, continuing the car attacks on people at protests. There's actually now been 3 white women or non-binary people who have lost their lives during this fight against racism and police violence in these last 4 years here in America. That was a dumpster getting dumped into a dumpster. A trash can getting dumped into a dumpster. So yeah, touchy subject, but Heather Heyer lost her life getting smashed into by a Nazi in Charlottesville, avid racist James Field. Summer Taylor was killed in Seattle at a Black Femme march. It was not by a white nationalist. From my understanding, the person was just really messed up on drugs. Then you have Deona Marie, who also lost her life from a car attack, basically, or a car killing. So those are 3, as I said, women or non-binary folks that have lost their life in the struggle here in America in these last 4 years. It's not a singular issue. This fight against white supremacy and racism and police violence has been a continued theme here in America, and it will play out in history as one of these contentious points where we look at, we see the George Floyd murder, we see even the Heather Heyer, as I said, the Summer Taylor, and now the Deona Marie killings as certain parts of historical facts that need to be presented in a way that represents the light of what's happening. And when you look back at the 60s, when you look back at the Freedom Summer, and you look back at some of the white folks that had put their lives on the line for black liberation and for black freedom, and you sort of have some of the similarities here where, it's a very intersectional fight for black lives and against police violence. And beyond that, people are putting their lives on the line. People's lives are forever altered. Not only that, they're changed. Well, not obviously altered is changed, but people don't just go back to normal life after dealing with a lot of this reality. A lot of times, people who have been dedicating a certain portion of their life to change end up going through a lot of change. They leave a lot of things behind. And they don't do it just because they want to. A lot of the times, they feel the need to. And that was the case with Deona Marie. As you see, the city workers are actually putting metal barricades around the area, it looks like, where Deona Marie has the vigil spot. Deona Marie seemed, from my understanding, sort of came from a very white background, was trying to understand the plight that black folks and other folks of color have here in America, dealing with anti-blackness and racism, and was also very open and putting her life on the line out here. Obviously, just attending a protest, you wouldn't think that you would just die, but she obviously was taking those steps to be here and attend. And at that night, a lot of people are saying her actions saved the lives of plenty of other people, being in the way that she parked her car. You see that trash hump? She parked her car a little bit off to the left of that trash hump. When she was smashed by Nick Krause, her car smashed into her, ended up about where those 2 officers are standing. She ended up about where that space in remembrance of her is. Her car possibly saved the lives of up to a dozen other people who would have been possibly killed or very dramatically injured that night. There is a statement on our website, if you go to the Deona Marie article from an internationalist anarchist woman in Rojava, the autonomous Kurdish region, who's working on a non-hierarchical, non-patriarchal society. They made a statement and basically said that what she was doing was an act of love and an act of safety for others, and let that lead the light and lead the way. Check out that statement on our website. It's really moving, actually, when you start to think about, Deona's life now is represented across the world as somebody who was standing up for the right, and for Winston Smith, and how these two issues are correlating within each other. And that's the scene sort of that we're dealing with here. It's the protest for Winston Smith's killing, and then it's the reality that folks are having to face with Deona Marie's killing as well, trying to mourn her life. Here's officers getting into a car. These are Hennepin County sheriffs, I believe. Yes, give me a second to get a better view for you. There we go. So not a lot of people are out. We'll bring you downstairs in a minute, try to get an interview or two before we go down. Just want to bring you out here, see the situation. Definitely check out Move for Justice News for the beginning of the barricade raid, you could call it. 1 second, I need to grab something. So again, just to recap, where we're standing is 100 feet from where Winston Smith was killed. His car was parked up here as he went out to dinner with his date, went out to lunch with his date at Stella's Fish Cafe. North Star Fugitive Task Force, which is U.S. Marshals with using deputies from Ramsey County, Anoka County, Hennepin County, Department of Corrections, as well as maybe one other facet of agencies. They're all part of the North Star Fugitive Task Force. They got word that Winston Smith was eating lunch at Stella's Fish Cafe at the top of your screen. And he actually posted that he was eating there on his Instagram. Moments later, after he arrived back to his car after walking across the street, going up the stairs or the elevator to his car, he was surrounded and killed by U.S. Marshals as part of the task force. Now, even his girlfriend and other people said, why didn't you just bum rush him in the elevator or the stairs if you're really trying to save his life, right? They waited till he got in the car. They made their moves then. They said that he produced a gun while they surrounded him. Here's all the goods the people had left that are getting thrown out. Police say Winston Smith produced a gun. Initial reports, it was around 2 p.m. that this happened. People were on the rooftop of Stella's Fish Cafe. They reported hearing about 15 shots. The police said that there was no video of the incident and that U.S. Marshals do not wear body cameras. There's been a lot of contention around that. Ramsey County, Anoka County, and Hennepin County have pulled their sheriffs out of the task force until they're allowed to wear body cameras. U.S. Marshals said that they were allowed to wear body cameras. Sheriff Bob Fletcher from St. Paul from Ramsey County said, we've been trying to get body cameras for our sheriffs for many months now, and that the U.S. Marshals are lying. The head of the U.S. Marshals here in Minnesota, Ramona, I cannot remember her last name, has had protests out at her house twice, I believe. They've been calling for her resignation. She called Sheriff Bob Fletcher back like last Monday, 2 Mondays ago, and was like, yo, we can get you body cameras, but it's going to take a while. And Bob Fletcher was like, well, we're going to take our deputies out of the task force. So that's been one part of contention. So basically, they're saying that there's no video camera up here on this ramp. Some other people are saying that there might be. The incident, again, happened right here where you see the balloons and such. The police had come up this area of the ramp to surround him. Again, he was eating at Stella's Fish Cafe just minutes before. In his Instagram post, you can see that he was even on top of this parking ramp a day before with some friends. Again, Winston Smith was an incredibly funny comedian, as well as a revolutionary in a lot of ways, and spoke a lot of truth in a lot of his posts. Some of his postings about protests might be unfavorable by some others, and some others might understand them. Basically, he was questioning why people are asking and begging for freedom and asking police not to shoot them when the police have been waging war on the populace for a long time. So this is the scene again. Winston Smith was killed 100 feet from where we are. He was just eating lunch with his date. He was killed by the deputized U.S. Marshals, one from Ramsey County and one from Hennepin County. The BCA is investigating, and the Hennepin County, Ramsey County sheriff's deputies that killed Winston Smith are not going to be named. We don't know if that's going to be forever the reality, but right now they're not being named by the BCA as they were supposedly working in an undercover capacity. So therefore, they cannot name the two officers. Other people are asking, well, since your departments have taken yourselves out of the task force, when will you be naming the officers since they're not working in undercover capacity anymore? From my understanding, the BCA is still not responding in a favorable way to releasing that information. So we still don't know exactly who killed Winston Smith. We do know who killed Deona Marie. This is a scene right over here on Fremont real quick, and then I'll talk about Deona Marie. Again, people have been protesting for 10 days for Winston Smith. The latest reaction here by the police was clearing barricades that have been erected since earlier today. It was a point of contention with a press conference and some other happenings that was happening politically, to where the city and the police and business owners wanted this area cleared, and the community just wanted at least like 48 hours to grieve the death of Deona Marie, and they weren't allowed that. Again, this is her birthday today, what would have been her birthday. Deona Marie, space of death is right there. Protesters had gathered Sunday night. There was a protest, there was a vigil, there was a rally. People were there. Deona Marie parked her car about where that car was just pulling out, onto the left of the screen by where that truck is. Where that tree is. And she had put her car into a protective stance, basically a blockade, a hard blockade, so people could be safe. It wasn't protruding into too much of the roadway at all, from my understanding. Protesters at that point were taking up space. They were playing games in memory of Winston Smith. And Nick Krause, 35-year-old, who had his license suspended from multiple DWIs in the past, revved his engine from many blocks away all the way through to hitting Deona's car, which rammed into her while she was sitting on the sidewalk, subsequently killing her. Supposedly today there was the release of a warrant for Nick Krause's blood, and in that warrant release there is video, they say, from Minneapolis Millennium. I'm not sure what that is, to be honest. It sounded like it might be street angle view of the video. Some people are out wondering if that would also show Winston Smith, but from my understanding is if that's specifically the street view, it probably wouldn't. Yet people are still just calling for transparency. They don't have any transparency in the Winston Smith case. In the Nick Krause case, it was really obvious what he did and that he did it. After he smashed into people, killing Deona, he was subsequently restrained by protesters, and they turned him over to the police. Basically showing him a lot of mercy. A lot of people have said that officer is taking off signs. Those signs were for Deona Marie and Winston Smith. He just took them off of the fence. They took all of the oops, sorry. They took all of the signs that were on those windows off as well. There was Deona Marie signs. So they've cleared all of that. They've left Deona Marie's specific vigil spot, and they have not touched that in a clearing way that I've seen. So again, Deona Marie would have been 32 today, a mother of two, worked with vulnerable adults from my understanding, and was basically a mainstay up here at Winston Smith protests. She was killed by Nick Krause, who smashed into her with his vehicle going very, very fast. She basically died on the scene. There was medics, street medics here that helped her right away. Incredibly gruesome video. If you end up going to our website, content warning, and you watch Lavish Max stream, it's embedded into our video. You can see medics immediately trying to help Deona Marie. They were, I think one of the medics at least was also hospitalized after they tried to help them, possibly. 1 second here. I have to rearrange a few things. So again, that's Deona Marie's spot. These are police that are clearing this area. Barricades have been erected for the protest for Winston Smith and to protect the area as people were gathering to honor the life of Deona Marie on on what would have been her 32nd birthday. So again, people are still gathered by the barricade, which continues to shine its light, shine their big spotlight. You can see it shining off the grass. They have one spotlight sort of shining straight over here, and then they have another one continuing to go through the crowd. As I was saying, with the new police interactions with the community, they've pulled out their big guns. They're using automatic rifles now with compressors. I choose the wrong word, excuse me. You see, again, as I was mentioning, with these sort of upper mobility, high class area, you got LED lights on some of these condos. This is the scene where we're at. You know, this is only a mile away from George Floyd Square, but remarkably different community, remarkably different neighborhood. And, you know, even, well, talking about George Floyd, you can see the difference as to why they would respond that way, this way so fast to this area. But also I wanted to reiterate that community are still holding down that space. Obviously, it's a touch and go with a lot of people and a lot of different moving parts and different barricades that have been taken down and re-erected and taken down. But a lot of continuing healing is still trying to happen out of George Floyd Square. Folks are still sort of taking that space and reclaiming it as theirs. So you see city trucks are moving through this area after they cleared the barricades. Barricades were erected on both sides. You can sort of see the area where all this glass is in the street. That was from a bus stop. And that bus stop was like the east barricade, and the west barricade was... they better not be doing that, are they, for real? Okay. So unsure what's happening here with this bulldozing construction vehicle. It might just be turning around. It looked for a second like they were lined up to go after the vigil, but that is not the case. Okay. Hopefully that's not the case. Looks like they're just turning around. I might be speaking too soon. Yeah, they must just be trying to turn around. Looks like they lifted up their rig while they were turning around. Oh my goodness. Again, that is the vigil site for Deona Marie. Okay. Move in. Looks like they're pointing at it. They might be making moves to go in on it. I'm really unsure. Yeah, we're here live on Lake and Gerard. There was a street light or a street camera at one point that was painted over. They might be trying to finagle with that. But I feel like that was way up higher. I'm unsure what's happening. I'm gonna try to get a better view, sorry. I keep moving around trying to get a better view over on this side. Oh yeah, it looks like he's looking at trying to fix either the light or shot spotter. Thanks, man. The crowd in the background, you can hear them chanting. So this could be some of the strategic information center comms that are being replaced right here. Unsure. We do know that Minneapolis Police Department put out a post, I think earlier today, like putting out a person's face saying you need to go, you need to turn this person in because they're responsible for us not knowing what Nick Krause did when he killed Deona Marie. Basically, they were saying that because this person got up to that area and spray painted the camera like that officer looks like he's doing right now, that they are the reason why the police don't have any information that will help convict Nick Krause. Seemed a little bit strange as it was sort of blame that person for the reasoning why they wouldn't have enough to convict him. But we'll see how it plays out. They like to blame the victims a lot of times and shift blame and escape culpability and escape accountability. Hence these task force, hence nobody to answer to, hence no accountability. When you have a federalized task force that kills a person, they've never been held accountable by the state because they're a federal entity. And so therefore there's nobody to hold these two deputies accountable if they fired on Winston and he didn't produce a gun, or even if he did produce a gun, there's no way to hold him accountable. That apparatus just isn't there. The state just can't bring charges to federal agents on this capacity, or this just hasn't happened. So here's, as you see, this is an officer. I believe he might be like spraying some kind of cleaning equipment or some kind of solution on to one of their either listening devices or cameras. My guess is a camera here on Lake Street and Girard Avenue, right above Deona Marie's vigil site, which was very scary for a moment. It looked like they might be trying to mess with the vigil site after they left it alone the whole time, which is very confusing, but obviously that was not the case. They were trying to scale up the pole to get to that surveillance equipment. Sorry about that. I meant to zoom out before I zoomed all the way onto the right side. There you see the crowd. You see some of the officers who were standing in this field are now moving around. This crowd, some of the crowd are just running, scattering. Not sure what happened. But a little bit more on the Strategic Information Centers. Jeff Rugel, I believe, is the creator, the head, mostly almost the creator too. He testified at the at the Derek Chauvin trial in the murder of George Floyd. Basically said a lot of information. Some of the information we sort of already knew. It is apparent that the Minneapolis Police Department has been surveying social feeds and creating sock puppet accounts, fake accounts, to also use to survey social feeds. Jeff Rugel is a big part of that endeavor to get information on protesters in that capacity. These cameras and systems of microphones and other things are part of the Strategic Information Center, part of the database of cameras they can pull from. All right, here we go. Vantage point of the CART team vehicle. Chemical Agent Response Team. Those are like the jump out boys. We've been looking for their name for years. I have, as a reporter, I've been looking for their name for years, and I finally found it while I was figuring out some research on this Shame Games piece that we just put up recently. If you haven't seen that, check it out on our website, Shame Games. Minneapolis Police caught denigrating Central Command Officer, Community Engagement Officer, one of those two. But yeah, that's the CART team, Chemical Agent Response Team. That is their little tactical van. They usually go in there about 4 to 6 deep, 2 in the front and sometimes up to 5 even in the back from what I've seen. Sergeant Battelle, who leads a CART team, or who led one in November, is the one who's basically the main factor of Shame Games. Anyways, that's the Chemical Agent Response Team. They're the guys who come out with their little 40mm mark rounds, as we saw a little earlier today, and that's one of their vans as well. They've been, as we were talking about earlier, coming out a lot more militarized. They're coming out with live fire rifles, as well as shining green laser sights at protesters last week, 2 weeks ago. That was the first that I had ever seen police shine green lasers at protesters. So we'll get down there in a second. This was a good vantage point to get you all up to speed. Is sort of what happened in here in Minneapolis, uptown Minneapolis, and sort of get to see the neighborhood. Bring you to Winston Smith's spot one more time real quick. So there's a lot of candles. You see the big hearts, multiple hearts that are set up. You see the balloons. This is all for Winston Smith. This is where he was killed. You see there's a lot of graffiti that's sort of adorning these walls. Winston Smith, how many more? Wincy, love you bro. Long live Winston, paid for by taxes. Got some blood. A bloody hand. R.I.P. Dante Wright. So this metro area is just having to deal with a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma. Trauma after trauma. A lot of state-sanctioned murders and state-sanctioned trauma. Get you one more shot real quick, and then we'll go downstairs for a sec. Large police operation here tonight, uptown Minneapolis. Concrete barriers are being loaded. I'm not sure where exactly they were from. This was painted red recently, I think by Visual Black Justice group of organizers. And this was the garden that people were creating that the officer was smashing his feet into. So this is the scene here, again, as we said, uptown Minneapolis. There's city workers, public works. City workers are out here in the blaze orange or blaze yellow or whatever the neon colors are. The officers are in brown. Those are Hennepin County Sheriff's officers. There's dark blue Minneapolis police officers, and then there's light blue Minneapolis police officers, lighter blue. The darker blue, I think, are some of them are gang police, and some of them are some other ones. There's been a spy plane above the whole time, and that is most likely a state trooper or Department of Homeland Security flying surveillance flights as the police do their interactions with the community. Police started interacting with the community tonight by rolling up Lake Street on that side of it, coming up the street, down, coming up Hennepin Avenue, coming east on Lake, clearing the barricades, kettling everybody from other positions and telling everybody to get on the ground get on their knees on the ground, and they were under arrest. Quite a few arrests were made. We don't know the total. As we heard from Louis Tran, who streamed the whole interaction in the beginning at Move for Justice News. Check that out. He got the whole interaction from my understanding. I watched some of it as well. The police did not give any dispersal orders. They had said earlier, just a couple hours earlier, in a press conference that Jacob Fry had, the mayor of Minneapolis, who's in control of the police, has said that they would be giving a dispersal order and allowing people enough time to go out of the area and then be arrested. So that didn't happen from all accounts up here and from watching the video. All evidentiary accounts show that didn't happen. The situation is sort of materialized into people standing around watching the police continue their movements. We're going to bring the stream down a little bit. We're going to bring you down to the street, and then we'll bring stream down probably after that. Again, thank you all for tuning in. We're only able to do this because of your support. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to bringing context to social and environmental struggles. All donations are tax deductible, and as I said, we wouldn't be able to do this without your support. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for sharing. We don't pay for ads. We don't commercialize our work or any of that. So there are cameras in the hallways of this parking ramp. So anyways, I say all that to say feel free to go ahead and share our work. That's how we get it out. And to donate if you have the financial privilege. As we come down these stairs of the parking ramp where Winston Smith was killed. Here's ground level. Love you.
Yeah.
So much.
Likewise. Good to see you again.
You too. Thank you much.
Yeah.
Definitely needed.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah. You were out here?
Yeah. I was like running past the cop cars as they're running in.
Whoa. Hey. Whoa. Yeah, definitely interested in it.
But yeah, there's some people still over on the west side last time I checked. Like,
why change it if it's been the same tomorrow?
Over here.
Right?
Right.
And then someone over here was saying they were like taking people's dogs or some shit like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I didn't get any more on that. But,
How many cars did you see with their tires pressed?
I think I only saw two on the north side.
Okay.
But I didn't get to the west side until later on because more of the action is over here.
Okay.
And the police kept moving me around like they do. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll talk to you more later.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, thanks. Fresh just said they only saw 2 vehicles with their tires pressed by the police. How you doing?
Why keep showing up? Why keep having different conversations? Why I have to keep getting attention?
So there's the cart team a little closer. There's the Hennepin County Sheriff's leaving. Crowd sort of egging them on. So again, that's the CART team, chemical agent response team with their tactical van. This is an officer standing there on his phone, possibly giving or getting orders. They do text with each other during these situations. You might just be texting a family member, who knows.
Excuse me, sir. You got a small penis. And you're ugly, man. Hey, pussy! You make $50K a year to uphold this fucking gay-ass system? Come on, bro. Come on. $50K a year.
Wait, so
Your wife fucks other men.
What the fuck is that?
Your wife fucks other men, bro. Your wife don't even like you. Your kids think you're a fucking loser.
This is the Bearcat,
What's your job?
Minneapolis SWAT.
Fucking racist?
Bearcat right here. Here, a community member sort of yelling at the
You
cops.
look like you got heart disease.
Give me a second, I'm gonna go around the side real quick.
Don't take pictures of the fuck? Don't take the fucking pictures.
Nico? Yeah, appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Nico! Good to see you.
You too.
I get that.
The best we can do is ask. The best we can do is ask. Just ask. You don't want to sing to them.
I saw a little video earlier from the documentary news while we're all here on the phone.
They can waste as much time. Okay? We'll put this bitch back up. Motherfucker shot me like point blank.
Yeah, you can tell it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I wasn't doing shit. Motherfucker shot me in the fucking chest for nothing. Get my hand on the sickle tattoo.
Wow. Just today? Just a little bit ago?
Yeah.
At the fence?
Yeah, right
Yeah,
when they
okay.
got it.
Yeah.
Fucking shot me here. Point blank.
It's gonna hurt for a bit.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna hurt worse tomorrow.
Yeah, throw some ice on it.
What's your job?
Keep doing stretches, you know, every night before you go to sleep, do some stretches. It's gonna tighten up.
You're too stupid to do anything good with the life, so take it easy.
Police are having a huddle in the middle of Lake and Fremont.
This guy needs cock extensions right here. Look at that pussy. Hey, they be fucking each other on the lawn. gone off to sleep.
Appreciate everything you do, man.
Hey, there's a reason you all gotta stay together. Way more powerful than you, you little pussy. Bro, you're ugly as fuck.
So right now there's police officers that are having a conversation in the middle of Fremont Lake. There's some of the protesters are arguing with some of the photographers about getting photos taken of protesters. It seems to be dying down, unsure. Seems like they're having a good conversation at this point now. There's a SWAT team right here on the left, a SWAT vehicle. It's pointed towards south on Fremont. There's an officer coming back over to speak to other officers. It's like they're going to try to push up the street possibly, or move the crowd a little bit further.
This is how this works. I'm behind the tents. I don't know why you're looking so motherfucking nervous all the time. I ain't coming over there. Are you coming here? Sorry, let me pause like this. Are we having like a team huddle over there? What's the move? What's the plan?
So the police are going to make a move here in a minute. It's about 25 to 50 sort of community members yelling at the cops at this point. The police just had a huddle. This officer just put on her body cam just now, so it seems like they're about to be making a move here. Unsure. So again, we're here live on Fremont Avenue and Lake Street in Uptown Minneapolis. We got the parking ramp that was up here that Winston Smith was killed at. Right up the street, Deona Marie was killed 2 days ago in a car smashed into her. Right now we have people that are protesting the police's interactions with the community after they just evacuated barricades or moved barricades out of the street that was on Lake Street. They moved them off of Lake Street and started throwing them out. They just had a huddle. They moved into different formations, a little closer to the police, and then a couple officers turned on their body cams, but they haven't made any moves since that happened. But what we saw earlier is multiple arrests had happened earlier when they moved into the crowd, originally around 8:30ish or 8ish, and then they made a few more subsequent arrests afterwards. Looks like they're sort of just not moving around now, drinking water, letting the car go through.
Big truck that's coming for the big truck. Watch out. Whoa. You are sensor.
Baby cop. Baby cop. Back off.
line. We're behind the line.
So that's what they're meeting about was, I think, clearing the line to let all these city vehicles go through.
Fuck you, and fuck you in particular.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck all of you! Back off! Bro. We're behind the line, bro. We're behind the line. What am I doing? Come on, you're already making threatening motions.
Is your body cam on?
Come on.
Is your body
You
cam
guys
on?
are trying to get some shit going, all right?
They're trying to escalate. Hey, Lodge, they're trying to escalate. You see this? That police line is back there. That police line is back there. This man just got in my face.
That's your police line. Go on.
Just got in my face. Trying to escalate. This is when the destruction happens, when they escalate. This is when the destruction happens, when they escalate.
Looks like there's more trucks that are coming through, more vehicles.
Fuck you! Come on, put them murderers back behind line.
What that person was saying was, in a lot of sense, true. We have seen a lot of escalation happen after the police interact with the community in a very rough way. There's the live fire off assault rifles that they're regularly having.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, 11.
They just went after that person, but he got away. He got away on a scooter. I'm not sure what he did. He might have yelled at him or thrown something at him. Minneapolis Public Works.
Especially you! Especially you! What happened? They put me in cuffs down the street. And then what? And then they dropped me off down the street. What the fuck was what? No keys, no phone.
You want to talk about it?
Hell no.
Okay. Person just said he got arrested, dropped off down the street with none of his items.
No harm, bro. No harm.
The officer said, I didn't take your phone.
I know you did. I know you did. But remember the dude you asked me? The dude you asked me to watch me? So he took my phone out of my pocket. I ain't got my house keys, my car keys, or my cell phone. The same dude you asked to watch me. His name started with an F, Spanish name, short dude, Clint. You don't remember him? You don't remember him? How do you ask somebody to watch me, but you don't remember?
Well, we got lead Eagle Scout stepping in. We got lead Eagle Scout, open supervisor.
No, he put cuffs on me. Now my house keys are missing and my cell phone is missing. Come on. Come on, can I get my property back?
Why you got taking with Elizabeth?
Can I get my property back?
I can fucking walk. Do you not have a badge? Why is she looking you up and down?
You see, I'm being calm here. Like, I just had shit stolen. I can't even get in my house right now.
Guys, I found the unicorn riot.
I can't even get in my house right now.
Excuse me, officer. Do you have any?
You don't even
you got a
feel
badge
comfortable
number?
around these weirdos. No, you got a badge.
Do you got a badge number or?
He was right there. He was right there. No.
This gentleman right here is saying that he was arrested and they stole his phone and keys. The officer knew what he was talking about. He said, I don't have your phone.
Oh, that's good to know. Who was that I was saying?
Elizabeth, don't even talk to him, Elizabeth. My property is missing.
Chemical response team, aka the people that fucking gas their own citizens. Oh yeah, that's the gas mask right there.
My house keys, my car keys, and my cell phone. Make sure to fuck out.
Yeah, these are the people.
Neighborhood reporter on the scene. What up? Good to see you. Hey, what up?
Whoa. Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Trying to attach something again. Just give me a minute.
You know who it was. You took a little white boy that was sitting next to me. You took his information. I was sitting right next to him. There was an officer right next to me.
Your police department mishandles rape kits.
Come on now. I need to get back in my house. Listen, if I go into my house right now, I gotta break in. And if I break in and they call, I don't have a phone to answer with. So they're gonna send you guys back out. Come on, bro. I know you know his name, bro.
I need a shield.
Y'all can keep my phone. I want my house keys back. Bro, why is my shoe? You saw all your people get killed, but you still grew up to get killed. All your people all this time. That's where you gonna stand there. For real, brother. That's where you gonna stand there. That's what we doing. All your people got killed. All of them. They your people too. They yours too. Why you stand in the middle? They yours too. You saw it. You saw it. Then they put you on the floor to make you look like that. They threw you on the floor. You already know what time it is. They throwing you. Get on his ass. Fuck that. Yeah, my man came and moved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at this dumb bitch. Hold the line. Hold the line. We ain't even crossed this line. What the fuck you need to hold that line? We ain't crossing. He sucked white dick. Look at him. He sucked white dick. Can you see how stupid ass?
He became a position. He put the black man.
So a new bike unit has arrived and other officers are coming up.
Right in the front. Put him right there. Alright, nigga. You still one of us. And that's how they gonna always do. It don't matter what position, what job you work, we ain't gonna never be like them. They don't give no fucks about you. A lot of out-of-state police officers over here. I need to get in the gym. I'm talking a free membership.
Look at Elizabeth. Yeah, look at Elizabeth. She can't run. Look at her. You look shorter than me, girl. You look shorter than me. I'm only 5'1". I'm only 5'1". I'll still be jacked. Girl, I'm gonna do that stage dance. Look at her. She's mad as hell. There's Elizabeth.
So the spy cam, the spy plane that has been circling this area since the incident started is up there again, and it's a state patrol spy plane. If you want to see their capabilities, go to our website, unicornriot.ninja. You'll find the spy plane capabilities and videos fielded by contributor Sam Richards. The car? This police car is listening to KMOJ 89.9. Neighborhood reporter just pointed that out. That is a black-owned radio station. So again, about the spy plane, it's a state patrol spy plane, and they've been blocking it. They've been not answering Minnesota FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Records requests.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Whites matter, Lord! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Everybody lives matter!
More officers are being brought to the line.
Police stop kill people! Stop, don't kill people! Fuck 12! Don't kill people! Fuck 12! Fuck 12!
That's the officer in charge, Lieutenant Severance.
Fuck you, 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 bitch.
They don't communicate with the protesters out here. They don't even give them dispersal orders, really. They just arrest them. There was no dispersal orders given earlier today. There has been none tonight.
Hey, stop! Police, don't kill anybody, please! Don't kill anybody! Stop! I say, everybody, listen! No.
There they go. They got one person, it looks like, and another person. Looks like they're moving in over here. They got this person who was just screaming. Again, they haven't just given any dispersal orders.
I need water. I don't know what's going on. Tell my mom.
So we got a couple people arrested here. They're getting another one right here. There's another person over there that's being arrested. There's another person with their bike. And then that gentleman who was just screaming a second ago. And this person over here as well. So they just seem to be like catching who they can get at the time. They haven't been able to get, They haven't been able to get many protesters, so they just sort of got the stragglers.
Yeah,
they got the stragglers.
As long as you guys are on the sidewalk for me. Okay, thank you.
There's one person being arrested here. He's throwing his money out his pocket. They put it back in, maybe. Trying to. Very arbitrary arrest. Those people weren't doing anything, and there was no dispersal order, so I'm not really sure what they're going to get tagged for besides being in the street. This is not a very good line that they've formed. They've allowed people to be on the sidewalk behind their line. Riggedy, raggedy ordering out here by the police. All those arrests, I did not see any of those people throw anything, act like they're going to throw anything, anything. I did see the person in the middle yelling, saying, "Don't kill people." He sounded like, I think he was from East Africa, possibly. Before they were cuffing him, he was like, it's broken. So he might even have like a hurt wrist, and that's what is taking so long for them to figure out how to cuff him. Looks like there's some more interaction going over here with that person they've arrested. Or no, more tape is being put up. So now the police are making their moves back. Oh, they just pulled out the bike squad, and now they're moving the other people to double space. The bike squad is usually the squad that makes the arrest. They'll come out, if they're around, they'll come out in like 4 deep and start to make the arrest. That one was just like a whole line moved. They've been talking about making these moves consistently with themselves. You see Lieutenant Severance, when he goes and talks to some of the other captains and lieutenants, they make their moves after that. They decide who to target. I think they were unsuccessful in their targeting attempts this time, as they only got 3 people that I don't think that they were trying to get, or maybe 4 or 5. But I don't think that they were aiming for those people that they got. They were just sort of consolation gets. You good? All right. Nope, they didn't. They didn't.
Rush the cop, and they said they were giving dispersal orders, allowing those people that smoke
To leave, yeah.
to fucking leave.
But they didn't. They
Just
kettled
like,
everybody.
Just like they didn't the Friday night they fucking arrested us.
Yep. Yep. Hey, be safe, man. Person who just got brought through the line said, "You okay?" He said, "No." They continued to basically lie. They said they were going to give us a dispersal order for people who didn't want that smoke, and they never gave it. Just like they didn't on Friday, April 16th, I think that was the day, in Brooklyn Center, when they mass arrested or mass went after hundreds of people. Looks like these are a bunch of sheriffs that are moving back under the tape, and these sheriffs went running after some other folks down the street. This is 2nd Precinct CRT. This is not the CART team, it's the CRT. I'm not sure the difference. Here's the 1st Precinct CRT. Is CRT a chemical response team? Or is that different? It's chemical agent response team, right? So CRT is different, right?
Community response.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, thanks. So you're like more... Yeah, I know. But I thought it was different than the CART, right? So anyways, community response team. So you guys are more community-oriented policers. And that's why you're talking to me, possibly, huh? Where? So, talking about the shame games a little bit ago, and the community response team is Dayton Dubois and his folks are part of the community response team, and he actually gets made fun of by CART team officers because of possibly his engagement in the community response team or the community engagement team. Is it the same as community engagement team, or is that 2 separate things? Community separate. Okay, 2 separate things. Apologies. Totally separate. Community response team and community engagement team are different, as well as the CART team, chemical agent response team. Also, the gang police is out here, and Hennepin County Sheriff's SWAT is out here. Here's the sheriffs, and these are sheriffs from the same unit who killed Winston Smith right up the street on this parking ramp. 1 officer from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department killed Winston Smith, and 1 officer from the Ramsey County Sheriff's Department killed Winston Smith. This is Golden Valley. Excuse me. These sheriffs are the Hennepin County Sheriffs.
They got the sheriff and the police here. And he got they ready.
He was trying to leave. You asked him to.
This person is arrested. Literally was doing nothing.
They coming up with a strategy right here. And then when they walk away and shit, they already got something. Look, they put order.
Hey Tony,
What's up, bro?
how you doing, man? Would you want to talk about all that shit you saw with Deona Marie?
Yeah, let me from this little.
Yep.
Where the fuck that dog at?
Right there. In the back.
Oh, he right there?
Still on you. Uncle Ruckus, right there.
So again, this is 2 days after Deona Marie was killed. Deona Marie would have turned 32 years old today. The killer, Nick Krause, was in a car, smashed into her car, which was acting as a protector car.
Of course he was fucking scared and trying to run away. He didn't want to, I don't know, get shot. You all have rifles and guns and body armor. Of course he was terrified and running away.
She's talking about somebody who just got arrested. I'm not sure.
You shoot us for no reason. Literally, you don't even follow the own laws that were made for y'all. That were made to protect you. We're not people of color.
Yes, no. You can't even look at me, bro.
Don't arrest us for not having the lights on in our car, and yet you pull up with no lights on in your cars.
We shine floodlights on us so that you can see us, but we can't fucking see you.
I don't understand.
Am I a person?
Why?
I'm not a person. I'm still three-fifths of a person. What are you, brother?
And when we question the system, we're arrested. What dystopian-ass future is this? When did our society become the Hunger Games? When did you all just become the judge and the jury and the executioner? Pretty sure that the Minnesota State, we don't kill people. Except you all do, anyway. And yet none of you are put on trial.
Let me know before you shoot me. Is this too violent? Am I allowed to be here right now? Like I said, you can shake your head yes or nod your head no. One of the two.
Like if one of you just shot this man who's just asking you questions right now, I don't think any of you would be put on trial. Because you would all say you were scared for your life.
Hey, look who's here. Look who it is, y'all. Unicorn Riot.
What up, man?
What's up, man?
You want to talk at all?
Winston Smith!
Yeah, I'll talk, man.
All right, give me 1 second. Let's
Winston Smith!
grab this from me if you can.
Winston Smith!
You can introduce yourself. You don't have to, but I know you've been out here for a little bit.
Yeah.
What is your interpretation of what's happening right now?
Terrorism. We've been peaceful for 2 weeks. There was a car that just drove through going 100 miles per hour and killed my friend the other day. We were playing red light, green light with barricades up, and nobody bothered us for 2 days. Nobody bothered us. We educated every single car that was stuck, told them why we were here, and they all understood, so they turned right back around. We had no problems with anybody. And then they come in here with SWAT cars. There's officers out here with suppressors on their guns. Why did they have suppressors on their guns? So they can't hear when they shoot us dead in the street? They have suppressors on their guns, yo. I'm literally in this dude's face asking if I'm a person, if he's a person, and he won't even look at me. He won't even make eye contact with me. Like he's a real robot. It's crazy, mind-blowing that all of this is for a peaceful protest. We weren't even protesting. We were holding ground because Deona Marie's birthday is tomorrow. She got killed 2 days ago by somebody that drove 100 miles per hour through us. I had to dive out the way. I watched it all happen. And this is the response? Tell me why when I called 911 that night, the cops took 8 minutes to get here, and then the ambulance took another 10 minutes. Why did the cops show up before the ambulance does? When I call and say a woman was just ran over on Lake and Girard, can I get any, how is this protecting us? I just want answers. How is this protection? Does this look like they're protecting us right now? They were just shooting at us. One of our photographers got shot in the nuts and arrested. One of our photographers, for what? They were tear gassing us, for what? Because our words are too violent for them?
Our words too powerful.
Our words are too powerful. They hate it. They hate it. And that's what the fuck is wrong with this place, man. That's what the fuck is wrong with all these guys. Sorry I'm cussing. I'm kind of upset right now. This is mind-blowing. They really... Lake and Girard, Uptown. Winston Smith was shot 10 times in that parking ramp on the top. 10 times, unarmed. They called him a murder suspect, then retracted it. He was confirmed not to have a gun just a couple days ago. But that's not on the news. Y'all still think he's a murder suspect? Talk to me. Come to me. Ask me some questions. I'll educate you. Shot 10 times at the top of that rooftop. Deona Marie was hit. Right down there, there's a memorial for her. And they was power washing her memorial off. Power washing her memorial where she died. Where she died. I watched her die right there. And they just come in here like none of it matters. Because we're fucking up their money. Because their money is worth more than our lives. And it's obvious. It's all right here. Y'all don't see it? Y'all don't see it? Come on, y'all. Y'all gotta wake up. Wake up and smell the bacon, bro. Wake up and smell the bacon. Yo, these guys were just over there eating pizza. These officers in a regular van too, with regular plates, pulled up and delivered pizza. Pepperoni pizza too. At that. Pigs eating pigs. Cannibalism. It's crazy. My mind is blown. Look at them. They're all robots. Yo, I bet you if I went over to this guy, he wouldn't even look at me. Hey, bro. Hey, bro, can I ask you a question? Can you look at me? Hey, bro, can you look at me? Sir, Mr. Sheriff, officer. Yo, can you look at me? Can I ask you a question? Do you see what I'm talking about? He can't even look at me. Can you look at me, bro? Can I ask you a question? A simple question. A simple question. How are you protecting us right now? How is this protecting us? Nothing? Am I a person? You can nod your head or shake your head. Am I a person? You ain't even got to say nothing. Just shake your head, yes or no. Am I a person? Are you a person? Do you have a family? Do you have kids? Nothing. Crickets, bro. Crickets. Nothing. They are robots, y'all. Look. Can't even look me in the eyes.
What do you think would be better if they did different? Do you think if they communicated with the community that would change things?
Yeah, I do. I think that when somebody dies, gets gunned down by the police, they should block off the whole block for at least a year. That should be a memorial spot. They should make a park for them. We can't even put a park. We can't even grieve. We were out here trying to heal, watching our friend get murdered. And they call it vehicular homicide. Like a person wasn't driving that car 100 miles per hour through us. 20 minutes before that, probably 5 blocks down. And then this guy drives down the same block and runs us over. What a coincidence, right? I don't believe in coincidences. And I don't believe in this system neither. It's not broken, y'all. It's how it's supposed to be. It wasn't made for us. Wake up and smell the bacon, y'all. That's what I'm telling y'all. This is how it is. This is how it was made. Wake up and smell the bacon, y'all. Oh, here it's property over people, y'all. They care about the property more than they care about the people. It's sad, but that's what. There you go.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
1 second. 1 second.
spoke on uniform riot. Y'all can go fucking find that.
Hey Tony. Hey, you down? You down to speak?
Yeah.
All right. I know it's super traumatizing and shit to even talk about this stuff again, but I know that you can introduce yourself if you want. Otherwise, you can just talk about. I know that you were a witness to what even the gentleman over here was talking about. He was a witness to Deona Marie's killing. You took it upon yourself to actually restrain Nicholas Krause, who had killed Deona Marie. Can you talk about what you saw and what happened in your mind?
How can I say? So we came here. We was playing, volleyball. We was dancing. We was playing, just trying to bring a Cupid shuffle, cha-cha dance, and all. And we were just trying to bring love and unity together. You know what I'm saying? And Deona Marie was like, to me, how I felt being around. She was like a long lost auntie. You know what I'm saying? She brought that love in this square right here. And, I kept on saying that I have a bad vibe, you know what I'm saying? Something fell off. And, we was just trying to come over the trauma that the cities that we've been, going through. And so as, we was playing red light, green light, I get halfway down there, where the sheriff car at right here. I hear.
Let me go this way so you.
So when I got right to there with a paddy wagon, the little white truck, whatever, I hear a big. I hear tires screeching. Then I hear a loud takeoff. As a person was accelerating. Then we hear them smack into the barricade. And long story short, we kept hearing, we need a medic. And first thing I was doing, when I say that it's my duty to take care of my community, I put actions to that, because I've been out here and I've been a frontline and I've been a civil rights movement leader since the 26th of last year, George Floyd. And I feel like, honestly, what we're going through right now is war in our own city with the police system. You know what I mean? And for that to happen, I had to take all charge and police in my own community. I had to, retain the man. The first thing he was telling me, I seen him, he had a knife on him. First thing is bring him down and retain him for the officers can, do their job. So this is the result, what happened right here when they get pissed off because we're doing their job. We are protecting and serving our own community. This is our duty to protect our community. So long story short, it brought a lot of tears to us that a woman that was standing for Winston Smith lost her life in this movement. And I feel like that it was a setup, because the reason why I say it, because all of them was on 32nd and Colfax and they was on DuPont around the corner. That's how they got here so quick, because they were sitting ducks. Like I tell people, when they don't come, they send people. Like the verdict with George Floyd when that semi came through. So these are not no oops or just with a coincidence and stuff. We know this is all planned, and we know this is all, I feel like honestly this is all because I just don't know how to, I haven't never took time to let my heart and my mind rest, because at the end of the day, my son had to grow up in this, and what would I be a person to walk away for this when our city is full of trauma and, people dying every week. Winston died on my birthday. So I made a promise on my birthday I would step down for protesting. But when I see what happened to Deona Marie, it made me stand even stronger and firmer. And so today, they wound up taking my phone, because when I ran back, my phone fell when I had detained him, and it was on a criminal. It was on a investigation crime, I guess. So they had to take it to property and evidence, and Sergeant Polito, whatever his name is, and Officer Michael told me, Tony, we see that you calm, you back it, favor for a favor. And I said, don't say it like that. It's not no favor for favor. But we don't need nobody to get hurt. So what I did is I backed the crowd out, and I made sure our community was safe, because at the end of the day, we knew what their intentions was when they got here. And so Mike told me, he kept telling me, we're going to give you your phone back at the end of the night, even though it was sitting right there. It had all stuff all over. It was all the stuff from the car. I mean, the truck that ran into Deona Marie. So all day I've been fighting, calling, catching cabs, catching buses to get my phone back. I finally went through the tits and tats. I had to go through homicide investigation, and I'm going to say something that's going to really change this whole mood, and it's going to really bring some light into this. They interviewed me today, and they knew what happened. So I say, if y'all want to see justice for Deona Marie, I tell everybody, let's testify. Let's show up and put this man where he need to be at. This wasn't a vehicle homicide. This was a murder that we seen. And so I tell my people of all colors, come stand and give your statements. This is not no black on black crime. This is not no police against black crime. This is not no police against other people crimes. This was a supremacist against, this was a terrorist attack. If you really think it, this was an attack on us. And so,
Domestic terrorism.
yeah, and so I feel like a lot of people agree with me that it's time that we pick a date and come get statements. Because how you think her mother and her family feel losing their baby and they not getting justice? Because we are the people. So we need to stand up and we need to put this man where he need to be at. And I feel like it's doing it right, because wrong is wrong and right is right. There's no gray areas in it. And I tell people, when you come out here, suspect to see this. This ain't no joke. This is real life. A lot of people turn this into their nature, their lifestyle now. Once you go forward, you can't go backwards. And so I feel like if you really for the community, standing on your 10 toes, when stuff get like this, don't run away, don't walk away. And so I feel like, this is only the beginning to a marathon. And I feel like when we scream at the end, this is our duty, we really need to mean that, because, or we're going to continue allowing these people right here to put fear in us. Fear holds power. And I feel the moment when everything was going up, they was in fear. So that's why they got the legal terror guys. They got the, all these zip lines and all this, the area, because they're afraid of us. They're afraid of what we are capable of. They're afraid of the people way. They're afraid that us people run our city. So they put people in our cities to destroy us. And like I said, what happened to Deona Marie, that wasn't no oops. What happened to Winston, I was supposed to speak at his visual. I knew how Winston felt, because if y'all don't know, March 27th. Hey. March 27th. Let's talk about March 27th. I was set up in Washington County, Woodbury at Speedway. His name is Todd from Black Lives Matter. I was with Dante Wright brother, Damon, and we was in Hawk, my nephew, and they came there and they had all the same guns that they had on him. And I knew it was a assassination task. But the reason why I believe that they didn't go through is because I had Damon in the car. Now I know how that man up there felt. I know how Winston felt. Winston is a good man. He's funny. He bring a smile. He bring love. Just like Deona Marie, she was dancing. We taught her red light, green light, and her birthday actually, I think in 1 or 2 days from now.
I thought it's today or tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And so next week would make a year that she's been sober. And she was wanting to change her life. She wanted to learn how to become a vegetarian. And I felt like that man took her life away. But what's so crazy about it, he was aiming to take one of us, but he took his own people. So how do you feel about that? A lot of people, we don't know who to trust. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, the police do try to come talk to me because they see me marching. They see when they come, I have a solution. You have to strategize. You got to play the game how the game's supposed to be played. It's chest. It's making our way to the other side instead of going back. I understand when you're uncomfortable, you start going back where you know most comfortable. But sometimes you got to run with the punches. And what happened that night when I took him out the car and I put him in the bar. I'm registered jiu-jitsu. I put him in the bar and I told him, hold yourself accountable because you killed one of our people. He said, I'm sorry. No, that man did not have no liquor on his breath. I did not smell no drop of liquor on him. So stop changing the mirror. Stop switching up saying that it was a drunk driving. No, that was a mission. And it was accomplished what he did. And so at the end of the day, and when they came and got him over there, he said that I was going to kill myself, and I'm still going to kill myself. And no one knew that, because at the end of the day, like I said, these are not coincidences. These are events. These are not happening for no reason. Winston didn't happen for no reason. George didn't happen for no reason. Brianna didn't happen for no reason. So it's like, pay attention and realize we in war with the system right now. And what's sad, and I gotta tell the truth, I gotta keep it 100 on my man's media, because he's there with us. A lot of these people that come out here will scream, but then go home. A lot of us, we really in the field. You know what I'm saying? When my car got shot up, 100 bullets hit my car. All I got was a graze in my arm. I had to continue roll with the punches. I experienced trauma after trauma after trauma. My mind haven't been at ease. But you know what? I got a heart as a giant, and I'm going to keep fighting for my community. And I have to really think on this, like, how can I get my people to understand that these people ain't here to play with you? They here to either kill or arrest you. We the one that protect and serve our community. And that's what I did that night with the guy that killed Deona Marie. I love you so much, Deona Marie. I do. You brought tears to my eyes. You brought tears to the city. We did not want to lose you. And I'm sorry that it happened to you. And I promise that man is going to get murdered. He's not going to get no vehicle homicide, because the vehicle didn't kill him. It was a man that was behind that vehicle that killed him. So I'm going to do what a leader's supposed to do, and we're going to fight, and we're going to get this justice for you and your family. I love you.
I appreciate you.
I want to put my hands about getting my thing.
Oh, yeah. You gotta wait till you're behind people. So here's the situation. Again, that was activist Tony Clark speaking about his situation. How you doing? I'm live right now. I'm live right now. So you're up. So we have the situation here where some of the police are just sort of wrapping up. Other people from the community are still here. The Bearcat, or this MRAP vehicle, SWAT vehicle, is still here. Officers are just sort of chilling out on their phone at this point. There was multiple arrests. There was multiple arrests that happened up here today when the police cleared the barricades from Lake Street. The barricades were put up in response to the murder of Winston Smith that happened at that parking ramp on the top left of your screen, and Deona Marie's killing 2 days ago, as we just heard about from Tony Clark, who restrained the driver and then turned him to the police. This is the scene uptown Minneapolis. Again, those are the two sort of killings that we're talking about, that the community is out here grieving and trying to pay respects to those two people. The police, meanwhile, are clearing the barricades and then arresting multiple people, injuring others by shooting them with 40mm marker rounds, and just continuing to secure, as they call it, these streets. So thank you all for tuning in. If you want to know more information about Deona Marie or Winston Smith, go to our website, unicornriot.ninja. Check out our Instagram feed, unicorn.riot. Check us out on YouTube and Vimeo and Twitter, _ninja. And I think that's all. I think we're on Twitch as well. So Again, thank you all for tuning in. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Thank you, Chris and Dan, for running the back end. If you want to know more about Unicorn Riot, check out our website. We have a lot of specials continuing to come out. We just dropped a piece on Tulsa from a contributor, Marjan Sardar. And then we also have a piece from Indianapolis soon. We have a piece, another piece on some of this surveillance stuff that's happening continuously. So continue to follow our work. 1 second.
Oh, sorry. The couple arrests that they made at first, they've been cited and released, including the guy I was telling you about earlier, who someone was saying they took his dogs. So I guess public nuisance was the charge.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can see if they want to talk to you. They were hanging out back over there a minute ago. So
okay, word.
I think they might be down for an interview, but yeah, just wanted to pass on that.
Word,
update.
thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So it sounds like a lot of the arrests were cited for public nuisance and released. They weren't arrested. They were basically cited. So again, continue to check out our work. We do have a lot of new specials coming out. UnicornRiot.news is our website. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll continue to document what's happening up here. If something really wild happens, we'll try to keep you updated. If we do have those updates, those will be on Twitter. UR_Ninja, again, is our Twitter feed. If you are financially privileged enough and you like our work, think about financially providing support to us. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Winston Smith and Deona Marie, both their deaths are being protested, commemorated, commemorating their lives, and the community continues to say that they will bring up the barricades once the police leave. So that might just be the continuation of what we're going to see here for the next few days and possibly weeks, as we've seen for the last 10 to 12 days since Winston Smith was killed. Again, thank you all for tuning in. We will actually wait a second. The police just turned their body cam on, and we're moving this way.
By literally everybody. Nobody fucks with y'all. What y'all gonna do? Nobody's intimidated by y'all lives.
So it looks like they're about to make another move. Again, they just turned on their body cams, some of them. The people that they arrested earlier were for public nuisance, and they got cited and released.
They mad as hell.
Angela said, y'all know what Angela said? She said, find me. I found you, bitch! I found you, bitch! And guess what? I'll do it again. Keep looking at me like that, Angela. You like this sound? Okay. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. She's looking. She's trying to pull back her smile. She's been smiling. She's been smiling. We gonna be back since Angela.
So that looks like that was possibly their target. Left. Other officers are now coming up to this line.
Police against nobody with weapons. Oh my God, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Fucking you guys, dumbass. Just leave us the fuck alone. We're not doing shit to y'all. Go back in your huts and eat pizza. Go back in your huts and eat pizza. And then everything's fucking fine. Half you motherfuckers aren't shit without a helmet and a badge. You'll get your ass beat by everybody out here.
She just said, wait, I'm police, pick a better one, and then she signed for the camera. Funny.
Bro, this light is right in the bitch.
See, and this new movement was talked about by some officers. They put on their body cam and then started approaching the crowd. Some of the people who were heckling them pretty bad have left. This officer right here looked at her superior after that person left.
Like, y'all think that's funny? Yeah, they laugh about There's people that literally died a block away, bro. And y'all have any room to sit here and laugh? There shouldn't be anything funny to you. It's just like nothing. If you have kids, I hope they feel bad to be fucking looked at it by you. Y'all sad as hell. Y'all realize people died a block away. Y'all don't give a shit. Her bitch ass ain't gonna answer. She gonna sit there and laugh and chew her fucking gum and eat that pizza. Come on now. Get paid to be dicks, bro. Shit's sad as hell. Man and a woman died a block away and y'all sitting here laughing.
So again, there's been no dispersal orders. Jacob Fry, the mayor, said that they would give dispersal orders.
Got wooden sticks, plastic ass handcuffs against people with nothing. We here mourning our friend, our community. And we get impressed by the fucking army. The fuck, man? Like these niggas is ugly as hell laughing. He a sergeant and he is the main one laughing. Like this is funny. He supposed to be putting in
Angela, the fucking fascist! Angela, the joke is on you. We already knew that. Thank you.
Spotlight on me like I'm doing something wrong. Literally.
What am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong?
Hell no.
Why they got a spotlight on me like I'm doing something wrong?
Because they don't like you. They don't like you. Because they don't like you.
I know they don't like me.
You can sign that bitch as much as you want.
Hey, keep shining it on me. It's okay.
We right here.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not doing
Nowhere.
anything wrong, yo.
We
Am
right
I breaking
here.
the law right now?
Hell no.
Am I breaking the law right now?
Man, he gonna find
He said you're being a nuisance. You're being very close to breaking the
I'm
law.
a public nuisance, lame ass dude.
I'm just trying to get this lady to look at me.
Talk about you're very close.
That's what I'm
Motherfuckers
laughing.
is sad, bro.
This is such a funny situation, ain't it?
Everything's funny about two people fucking dying.
Over her flowers.
Come on, man.
Y'all driving over her flowers and shit. This is funny. Very nice.
Ain't shit to learn from. I ain't running serious.
People are running now.
They trying to close us in with they bitch ass. They ain't trying to close niggas in on my mama. I'm gonna punch the shit out of one of you niggas. I'm telling you. I ain't the one on my mama. Y'all like to get crushed in that helmet. Let's go.
Very always there.
Go get the car. Let's go.
For your money. Which one is it? Because it can't be both. Not like this. Not like this. Because you be here to fight. You care about me?
This is a photographer getting a flashlight into his face. Yeah, I see. Thank you. Police have taken that block right there. And there's really no reason for police to be interacting with the community in this respect. From my standpoint of view, the police have not had objects thrown at them. They've arrested numerous people at different occasions through the night, arbitrarily rushing after people and catching who they can catch.
They have to verify if you're a person or not, apparently.
That's crazy. That's what they just told me. Hey, he needs to know my name in order to verify if I'm a person or not. Right here. Got it on live. That's crazy. Wow, my mind is blown that I just heard that. They have to know my name to verify if I'm a person. I went down the line and asked each and every one of them if they cared about me, and they didn't even do that. They're not protecting us, yo.
So, this new movement by the police seemed to have been for nothing. The people that they were possibly going after had left, and they continue to just sort of stand their line. I'll give the outro again because I'm going to bring the stream down. Again, this is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Thank you, Chris and Dan, for running back end. Continue to follow Unicorn Riot at UR_ninja on Twitter, unicorn.riot on Instagram, Unicorn Riot on YouTube and Vimeo and Twitch. Our website is unicornriot.ninja. We are a 501c3 nonprofit media organization dedicated to bringing context, social, and environmental struggles. We have a lot of footage from Line 3. Alex is up there right now documenting on what's happening in the resistance to the Line 3 pipeline, oil pipeline that's going through Anishinaabe territory in northern Minnesota. Find more about that on the front of our website, and find more about Winston Smith and Deona Marie, who Winston Smith was killed 12 days ago by U.S. Marshals and a task force, actually Ramsey and Hennepin County Sheriff from a task force called North Star Fugitive Task Force in that parking ramp right above where you see right there. Deona Marie was killed about where you see those red signs in that door or street off to the left side. Deona Marie was killed by a vehicle smashing into the protest, very high speed, possibly 100 miles an hour. So again, thank you all for tuning in. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Check out our website, financially support us, share our work. You all are the reason why we're able to continue to do our independent media, and we thank you and love you for the support. If you supported last year during the 5-year anniversary of our organization and gave us over $35 and you did not receive your shirt, shoot us an email at donations@unicornriot.ninja and make sure you get it. You all take care. Have a good night. We'll take stream down.